Welcome to the Crazy Cool Family Podcast with Don and Suzanne Manning.
A podcast where we share with you great insights about everything family from over 30 years of parenting 7 kids and over a decade of equipping parents through our Crazy Cool Family ministry.
So let us inspire and equip you to build your best family.
Ta-da! It's number 300 podcast for Crazy Cool Family. Can you believe that?
Welcome to the 300th podcast. I love it. If you were in our studio right now, you would see confetti and balloons.
She's so lying.
I do like your ta-da, though. That was a good beginning.
That's right. It is number 300. We were just thinking like, okay, first of all, if you ever go back and listen to our beginning podcast,
you should.
It's really funny because we were really bad at it. And actually, the first podcast we ever did, I did them by myself. And then the very first podcast, I did them on my own.
Oh, because I wasn't being a team player, I'm sure. No. It took quite a while to convince me. Suzanne, you do have a voice. You have something to say. Yes. Suzanne, come on, play with me. Be on the podcast.
I don't even know if those made the cut. The first ones I did, I don't know if they're in but anyway, it was such a learning curve.
Yeah, somebody said, no, Don, you need to have somebody to talk to.
That's what a podcast is. Yeah, it's not just you lecturing everyone. But what a journey it's been. And we are so grateful that many of you have been with us the whole way. We're so grateful for you.
Yes. Yay to you. Yay, you 300ers.
We were looking back at episode number 100. 39 crazy cool concepts to radically change your family.
I wonder why we decided on 39.
I don't know. That was from the
all we could fit
book.
in.
Yeah. Episode 200, Creating Family Culture Made Simple. We talked about what's a safe haven. If you're a Crazy Cool Family listener, you know what safe haven means.
I don't think we really celebrated number 200.
Not as nearly as much as we did here. No confetti.
No confetti.
Yeah, no confetti.
No imaginary confetti.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're so grateful for all the people that have been with us, whether you're here for the first time or whether you've been here for 7 years of podcast. We are super grateful for you because all of you, I mean, we have our many podcast listeners. We send out emails and communication to literally tens of thousands of people because these people are interested in furthering their family. They're interested in having they're interested in being their best as a parent. And that's what we're all about. We just want you to be your best as a parent. And so, and hopefully through all of our things, we were looking back and saying, okay, in the 7 years, what else is done? We've written.
Wait a minute. Did you say 7 years?
Yeah, it's 7 years of podcast.
7 years of podcast. That's a long time. People, you have grown up with us, those that have been here for a while. And those that are just now here, we hope that you're with us for the next 7 years.
That's right.
We're going to talk a little bit about our future, our dream. Maybe you can dream with us a little bit.
But in those 7 years, we've written 7 books, different, everything from books to guides to micro books, starting to write some new type of issue-based deal we're going to call deep dives. We'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah. And we've also done, like I said, 300 podcast episodes. We've created Basecamp, which is a whole video series on our Crazy Cool Family concepts. And so if you buy guides, you get that for free. We used to sell that in a membership, and we adapted to where we give it away through our guides. And
you've been to Mexico, India, Africa to talk to people about families and parenting. Yep. We did some webinars, talked to people all over the world. That was so much fun. Remember, we had people from Canada and Australia. I mean, they were up at 4 a.m. to be on the webinar and be encouraged in their family growing.
We've also been all over the country speaking, and it's just been a great journey. I've met so many people just give me a real encouragement about family. And one of the things is to realize the spiritual battle we are under for family just all across this country, even all across this world. How the enemy really does fight, but also just encouraged by people that are either parenting ministries or men's ministries or women's ministries or church ministries that really do want to fight for family. And so, encouraged by, even now as we've spoken probably like 6 or 7 different times this year at various places around the country, just encouraged by people being more interested in family, men being more interested in family. So it's been a great season of, I hope that we say all that to encourage you that you're not alone, that if you are here listening and want the best for your family, there are others out there. And the good news is about that is that in God's economy, everyone can win. And that's really what started Crazy Cool Family for us is we saw us being able to win at family. And not perfect, but winning, and then saying, wow, how can we help others win at family too? Because in God's world, everyone can be a winner.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that we all know, especially those of you that are up to your eyeballs in parenting, that it's hard and it's exhausting and it's relentless. I mean, the small children need your attention all the time. And so as parents, where are you getting encouraged? Where are you being equipped and empowered and lifted up in this hard job that you've been called to do? I mean, and I can honestly say, sitting on the other side of raising my kids, it was the best thing I've done in my life. And getting to encourage you, upcoming parents.
The parenting in general was the best thing you've done? Is that what you're saying?
Getting to raise and mold and shape people for God's kingdom and to live in this world and to be God's life, light, and love. That's just so valuable. It's such a high calling that we get to do that God has entrusted us. I mean, he could have built the system any other way, but he didn't. He picked a man and a woman. He put them together. They have a baby. They raise the baby for 18 years. That's his plan.
And what's so funny is he put two different people together.
Radically different people.
And then,
they don't know how to parent together usually.
And then he put very radically different kids, different personalities and different temperaments and things like that. Put it all together and put it all in this mix and said, now let's figure it all out.
And now let's use that mix, if you will, to need God and to become more like Jesus and to make an impact on this world. That's the recipe of it, to put as much differences, uniqueness in there so that we can be mighty, love the Lord, be like the Lord, be the Lord here on earth. Yeah,
we were thinking about all the things that we had come through in the last 7 years and where we are today, and we can adapt this to you because where is your family today versus where it was 7 years ago? And what do you think about where has God worked in your lives? It may bring, so I hope it brings inspiration, encouragement that wow, look how far we've come. For Suzanne and I, for example, little things that you probably don't know about the ministry, but we used to, when we first started the ministry many years ago, when we first started speaking, really, maybe 10 years ago, even before the ministry actually started. And then for years in between there, we would get in the biggest fights before we spoke.
Every time we got in front of a crowd, I would be so mad at Don for absolutely no reason. I mean, after we talked, I wouldn't even know why I was mad at him.
Well, it was really what we found out. Really, she takes credit or blame or whatever. But really what happened was we wanted the same things and we were just not able to communicate well. And so as we were trying to decipher the best strategy and things like that, we would start to get frustrated with each other. And then when we spoke, we were having trouble with leading and following. And
we would interrupt each other. Like if you go back and listen to the first podcasts, we had somebody tell us once, I don't even know if I can let that. We can't even. The way you guys interrupt each other, we could never do that.
Yes, but and what's funny is we have a great, much better relationship now. But even then we had a good relationship. It was just, I just think also it was the enemy. He wanted to still kill and destroy our message.
Yeah.
And so, but you know what? Yeah. God was bigger, and we started to press in. And today, when we go and speak,
Well, I think it's because you changed radically.
Yeah, exactly. So I became a better person.
Yeah, you became a much better person, and I was able to work with you.
Yeah. Before I couldn't work with you, but now I can. No, but
I haven't changed at all, but I need to.
God did I hope that the same thing's happening in your family. God showed us some things and we're like, wow, this is hard. How are we going to make it easier? And that's really what about family too, is so many times people kind of push back when we say, what if family was easy?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said, hey, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Same thing happens when we really press in. We see the issues and we want to approach them God's way. God makes them easier because God makes family easier. He made it easier for us to get together and talk. Suzanne and I are completely different personalities, and we approach talking to people, in different ways. And so we had to come and balance that and figure out how to serve and love and work with each other. It was so tough at the first, but now it's so much easier. And we still can struggle sometimes, and because we have different opinions on how we should approach things. And she's so often she'll just say, "Oh, you should just go do this yourself."
All the time. Yeah. Which basically is, I can't work with you because you're not doing it my way. It's really, that's that translated. It's wrong.
And what I've learned to say is, no, honey, you are important. You do need to be in this world. We need you.
It'll be better if we're together.
It'll be better. Yes, we are better together. That's a common phrase I use a lot. So,
okay, well, all right. So there you go. That was kind of we have grown up a lot working with Crazy Cool Family. But so what would you say is your favorite part of it? What's your favorite part of Crazy Cool Family?
Oh, I love
the ministry.
I love the writing.
You like to write?
Yes, I do. I didn't realize that at the time. I thought I loved to speak. And, but I found that I really love to, writing is a kind of a metaphor for, it's really taking the concepts of parenting and making it where it's very teachable for others. That I want you guys as parents to be able to take what we've learned and what we are learning and then be able to articulate it in a way that you go, oh, wow, I can take that with me and I can apply that. So, for example, when we came up with encourage extravagantly and correct carefully, okay, that's gold. That's 5 words. And it's a whole concept of parenting that if somebody can take, today I want to work on encouraging extravagantly and correcting carefully. Right. Now, there may be lots of things we learn that are deeper than that go into the depth of that. But that phrase and coming up with that and being able to write and explore that in people's lives so that, people would know that all over the country and all over the world is awesome to me.
Yeah, Don's very good with words. I remember when the kids were little and he could literally just flow out a story and it could even rhyme. I mean, it was just like he's very good with taking a concept and making it be like a 5 words, not unified, concise. Summary, yeah. Yes, concise.
So, as I'm an elder at our church and I have been for many years. And so they tell me I have the spiritual gift of summary because I'm able to, that's a
take
gift.
Take
the concept. And so I really like that in writing. What about you?
Okay, well, so I am highly relational. And so I would say that my favorite thing about Crazy Cool Family is when I'm presented with a parenting issue, if you will, and then thinking about that issue, processing it maybe with the parent, maybe even if we've been asked a question. And then my favorite part is when the Holy Spirit comes in and drops an answer and drops just this supernatural wisdom that's absolutely amazing.
Well, and you're really gifted at that too. I mean, I remember, even before the 7 years that we've done this, but I mean, just going, you would say something to a parent and I would go, I've got to write that down because it was something that was very insightful. And so I always say that, at Crazy Cool Family, I was just a scribe. All I did was write down what Suzanne said. And then we made it into, summarized it in some way. But
crazy things is people would come up and say, oh my goodness, this time I talked to you and you said this, we've implemented it in our lives and it's amazing. I don't remember it. Yeah. I mean, because it was the Holy Spirit. It just literally, the answer came upon me, or else we'll even go back and look at Crazy Cool Family stuff. And I'm like, golly, that's good. Where'd that come from? And Don's like, that was you. You wrote that. And I was like, oh no, I didn't. That was the Holy Spirit there. That wasn't me.
But it works.
And so I love being a vessel to the Holy Spirit. I mean, I'm a helper. I'm relational and I'm a helper. And when I get to do that, then I absolutely love it. And parents, I love it when they have that aha moment and the light bulb goes off and they're like, oh, I'm going to try that. That's going to radically change my connection with my kids.
And honestly, that's how parenting gets easy. When you have the aha moments, when you start this study. And the next question that we're going to talk about is, what do we want to see transform in the next 5 to 10 years? And to me, that what I want to see is I am on a mission. I would say I'm probably obsessed. It'd be a way to describe it with inspiring parents and then coming up with the way that we get them to learn and to want to learn. I find so many parents, I literally talk to parents all across the country now. And what I find is that parents want, the good news is parents really do want these relationships with their children. They want the things just to, they want the success of family. I mean, I think that if you looked at, past generations, their definition of success of family was not really the definition we have today, where we are connected with them and things like, and there is, identity and grace and all the things that are out there. The trouble I find is that parents don't know how to do it. They know what they want and they don't know how to do it. And so at Crazy Cool Family, we're kind of obsessed with trying to figure out. In fact, just this month, we have released the Playbook, which is our next attempt at learning these concepts, these aha moments, because they don't come necessarily all the time, but you do a lot of study and all of a sudden you do, oh wow, this is,
this applies, this works.
You read your Bible every day and all of a sudden one day it's like, wow, this is a revelation. That's the same way. And so what I want to see in the next 5 to 10 years is that we develop a better and better process by which we help parents learn, and then we recruit more and more parents to make it happen.
Yeah, and so along with that, the recruit, somebody, you'll probably remember the guy's name, said, oh, I see 1 million Crazy Cool families out there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like something we've held on to, like, oh, we hadn't been dreaming that big.
Yeah.
We've been dreaming the people that are within our reach, the people we can touch. We want to empower, we want to help them in their families. We want to advance their families. But he lays that out there, 1 million Crazy Cool families. We just started dreaming way bigger. Okay, not only what can we do to create a product, a resource that can be dripped into families so that they can use it on a regular basis, so they can get access to these concepts that will radically change their family. And also, how can we give it to as many people as possible? How can we get it out there? What does that look like?
Yeah, because it's kind of like I don't know, Billy Graham or something. He had the gospel, and that's what he wanted to do. We have, in effect, kind of the gospel of parenting, I think, in that it really is all about relationship. It's all about connection. And when those things happen, then great things can happen. I was talking to somebody. I was trying to figure out if I'm going to go off on a tangent. I am just a little bit.
Decision made. Yeah. Yes.
I was talking to
the wheel.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of guys the other day, and this, I just wanted to show our passion. And they were dads that were there was some moral failures in their lives in various ways, but they weren't. They have great kids. And we were talking about why that happened, and they were just going, man, I don't know how it happened or whatever. I don't know what happened. And I've known the guys for many years. And I said, I know why it happened. And they're like, oh yeah, you're the parenting expert. Tell us why it happened, whatever. He's like, I said, because one reason, I said, there's not a formula, but there is an art to it. And the art to it is that you pursued your kids.
Yeah.
They knew that you loved them, and you pursued them. You wanted the best for them. You encouraged them. You inspired them. You were in their lives. I said, and you contrast that with the dad who is a know-it-all, self-righteous person who knows his Bible and does nothing wrong, but doesn't know how to connect with his kids. I will bet on the former versus the latter.
Yeah.
Almost every time. I will bet that the guy who knows everything and yet doesn't know how to connect with his kids, that guy has a better chance of losing his kids than the guys who are not morally sound.
They don't have it all together.
But pursue their kids.
Yeah.
And that was a huge revelation for us. And so when we look at what we want to do over the next 5 to 10 years, one of the things we've learned is sometimes it's really hard for the Christian parent to grasp that.
Yeah.
Now, we'd like to have both. We'd like
sure.
to have a person who loves the Lord and is gracious and is being discipled and all that, and pursues their kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard for some parents to understand that relationships are everything.
Right.
And when those relationships happen, then so many other things happen. And over the next 5, 10 years, I hope 5, 10, 15, that kind of comes, how much longer are we going to do it? Is there an end in sight? What do you think, Suzanne?
Well, you've always said you're not going to retire.
So true. That's a whole nother tangent of not retiring, of wanting to stay purposeful in life, even though I'm not quite as, I don't have a job I go to. I'll tell everybody all the time, I don't have a job anymore. I don't have to do that. And I'm actually busier than I've been in a while, but, doing business and ministry, but, yeah.
So I don't see that. I don't see I don't know if there's an end in sight, but I do say an evolution of what we're doing. I do think that, and I think that even as time, as the different technology of time is presented to us, I think that we'll pay attention to that too, and we want to be where parents are. So if they're on social media,
we want to be relevant.
Yeah, but if they're on social media, we want to meet them there. But if they're watching courses, we want to have courses for them. If they're listening to podcasts, we want to have a podcast. And so we want to be where parents are so that we can encourage them for sure. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know what's rolled out next. We found that big books, a lot of people don't read big books. And so we started doing micro books, little books, just with one little topic. And those have been hugely successful. And so we'll just see. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that there's an end in sight yet either. I know that we have 8 grandchildren now and 2 more on the way. And so maybe when we get to have 20 grandchildren, I'll be a full-time grandma. So I want to have time to encourage all you parents out there. But right now, I'm in it.
Well, and one of the things I think about is my father passed away last year. He was 92. My mother's 91. And so my mom always says we have good genes. And so, I hope that that's a way of life for me that I would be in good health for the next, I'm just turned 60. And so, that we would be able to make a run, for, another 20 years anyway, as we, look at, because I can always type, even if I can't walk, I can type. Right. And, so we do see this as a long-term investment. We're also, this year, we started more and more to get our kids involved.
Yes.
And so that's been fun. And so we hope the legacy also continues through there. And another thing I just have a dream of is writing material that lasts, that will survive us and hopefully even through our kids will. So in that regard, I hope Crazy Cool Family goes for many decades to come.
All right. So let's wrap it up with this last question, okay? What is one thing that you want parents to take away from Crazy Cool Family?
One thing. That's hard to say. It's just one
What's
thing.
27 things you want families to take away from Crazy Cool Family?
Oh, my goodness. But the one thing is, I hope that we can inspire parents to take learning about family and relationships seriously.
That's good.
And to be able to... and to realize that it happens one drip at a time. It's like saying, hey, I want you to really be an expert on the Gospels or the expert on the New Testament. And you wouldn't say, okay, well, just give me a weekend and I'll be there. Mm-hmm. You would read through, like what I've been doing, reading through the New Testament the last 5 years.
Over and over and over and over again.
Such a
end it, start again.
Yes.
End it, yeah.
And so over time I've become more. I know more, and it's allowed the New Testament to change my life. And so this is the kind of material we write, so that people over time get transformed, not over 30 years, but over 5, 10 years, that we can make a dramatic difference in their family. But first they have to choose to be the learner. They have to choose to want it. And that's what I feel like our biggest hurdle to overcome. And what I want, for the one thing for the parents is, because once we start them down the path of learning and they get a taste of learning relationships, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I want more of this. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. I see the light. I see the epiphany or whatever, and they go for it. What about you? What's the one thing you want to...
Okay, so mine definitely plays into yours as well. And the one thing that I would want all parents to take away from Crazy Cool Family is that family's worth it. It's worth the time that you invest in it. It's worth the energy that you invest in it. It's worth the sacrifices. It's worth putting your preferences and your priorities and the things that you want, your hobbies, on the back burner until you can get those kids raised, because you're doing life with them. You're doing their sporting events, or you're molding and shaping them. It's worth the investment. It's worth learning about. It's worth reading every book you can get a hold of. It's worth listening to the podcast. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Because what you're doing is you're raising the next generation. But if you do it right, you're raising your best friends in the next generation. And you're raising your best friends that are now raising little people that you get to have an impact in too. There's so many statistics out there that kids don't have a relationship with their parents, so therefore their parents can't be grandparents to their children. And don't raise kids like that. Raise kids that you enjoy being around, because it's worth it. So to go back to the very, very, very beginning, I wanted a lot of kids because I wanted to raise people that I wanted to hang out with. I had a great mom and dad. I had a great grandparents. I have a great sister. So I had a great family, but they didn't love Jesus. And they didn't believe in Jesus, and we didn't go to church, and we celebrated holidays because of Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. We didn't celebrate holidays because of Jesus. And I thought, I want to raise a family full of people that I can talk about Jesus with, that I can share my love for Jesus and my relationship with Jesus with. And so that's what makes family worth it, is to have that impact, that generational impact that is eternal. It's for eternity.
A couple of examples as we wrap this up. One of them is, think about all your friends. If you're in a 30-something, maybe early 40s or whatever, think about all your friends and how many of them have parents, therefore the grandparents of their kids, that they struggle with the relationship with, and they don't want to go see them, or it's a pain to go see them, or whatever. So what Suzanne's saying is, don't be those grandparents. They've set apart the parents of those 40-somethings, and maybe it's you, where they have set a culture in place that the kids don't want to be involved in that. Or the other thing is, I talk to so many men that are in their 50s and 60s. I go to men's conferences and things where they regret the time they spent on other things instead of with their kids. And I worked too much. I was angry. All those things.
Cats in the cradle and the silver.
Well, exactly. But it's like, and so therefore, don't be that person. But don't be the person that's going to be 60 years old and regret what you've done with your family. Be the person that's, when they're 60. Like, I can honestly say at 60 years old that I don't have a lot of regrets about family.
Maybe about your job, because you put it on the back burner for your family. McKay was talking about that today. Mom, would we be? He goes. I don't know how you let Dad work, and I was like, oh yeah, I really encouraged him to be at home with the family a lot. We'd probably be multimillionaires if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a sacrifice, though. It goes back to the sacrifice and it's worth it. It's worth it. The relationships are worth it. Love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor, love yourself. It's worth it. That's family. That's what we're talking about.
And so when we get to episode 600 in 7 more years, we want to see from you a great family story. Mm-hmm. We want you to tell us at episode 600, when we're talking, we say, wow, we've been with the Mannings 7. Well, this may be your first time listening to the podcast, or it may be you listen to episode 1. God help you.
God bless you. God bless you.
But we want whatever the next 7 years, the next 7 seasons of podcast, we want it to be where you look up and you look back to episode 300 and go, wow, our family's come an amazingly long way. We have learned, we have sacrificed, we have done all the things, and we've gotten such a blessing for it. And so that's our hope for you, and that's our hope for all the families. And we hope that then we have 1 million families that we're talking to and listening to. So tell your friends about Crazy Cool Family. Tell your friends about our new platform, the Playbook. If you're not subscribed to our email, great time to start. We will give that a try because it's amazing. We're taking We're taking communication with you to the next level in the playbook through one email. It's super simple. And so we encourage you to do that. And we would encourage you to tell all your friends to listen to this podcast. Go give us a review too. You can put a review on your favorite platform and let us know how you love our podcast. That would be awesome. So in the meantime, as always, go be crazy parents, crazycoolfamily.com.